Neil Robertson then breaking off in the frame he requires for a place in the second round proper of the Shanghai Masters, the round of 16, leading as he does against Wang Yuchen of China, just 16 years of age, conqueror of Joe Perry in the wildcard round 4-1. Break of 73 proving enough for Robertson in the previous frame. He's knocked in a century in this match in the very first frame, 122, the same size of break that Mark Davis enjoyed in his match against Ali Carter, which could well be going the distance, I think. Davis currently 3-2 in front, having been 3-0 in front.
Well, if he does go 3 all over there, I think it might go the distance, Phil. Don't think this one will, though.
Well, it always promised to be a really good battle, because Davis, as we know, has been in terrific form, retaining his 6 Reds world title. And Ali Carter, well, one of the best match players in the world these days, and the winner of that one to face the defending champ John Higgins. So that too will be a terrific tussle for, regardless of who comes through.
Well, meanwhile, Neil's not played a great escape there. He's got a little bit wide with the cue ball, and he's left a couple of reds on here for Young Wang. So many good young Chinese players around, Phil. I think, just give them 2 or 3 years, we'll see what happens then, can't we? It's all about the experience. I mean, I remember I turned professional, it took me about 3 seasons to really settle in, because there is a massive difference between the amateur and the professional game. It's all about taking your chances. You don't get as many chances, of course, but you have to mentally strengthen yourself up in that regard, as regards taking those chances.
Well, I think it's fair to say that we expected more Chinese players to have established themselves amongst the elite by now. 5 years ago, I think there was a feeling that players of the calibre of Ding Junhui would be pretty plentiful. That hasn't quite happened.
And of course, with the popularity of the game in Europe as well, we're expecting 1 or 2 players to emerge from some of the European countries.
Wang, meanwhile, has missed that admittedly tricky red by a proverbial country mile. One good red here from Robertson could spell danger for the Chinese.
Might be taking this onto the corner actually and stay on the pink. No problem.
Straight as a die. Well, I'm sure, Mike, just getting back to the issue of the strength and depth of talent in China, that Ding Junhui would actually welcome a couple of really top players coming through in his homeland, because that would take some of the pressure off him, which he undoubtedly feels, particularly when he arrives at the Crucible each year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hong Kong's Marco Fu, of course, is a multiple ranking event winner. He's been around for a long time now.
This guy's got broad shoulders though, hasn't he? The best player ever to come out of Australia. I'm sure, there's Xu Ying, the referee, just cleaning the cue ball. I'm sure that the late great Eddie Charlton will be so pleased looking down on this lad to see how his career has progressed.
And let's not forget that it took Robertson a few seasons to establish himself. He had a lot of doubts about whether he was good enough to be a professional when he first turned pro, dropped off the circuit, having to come all the way from Melbourne to try and make a career for himself. It wasn't easy in the early stages.
Yes, with just £500 in his pocket, and the rest is history. He's made over £2 million now at the table.
And I'm sure those early reverses in his career toughened him up and helped him to become the player he is today.
It's just one of those great sporting stories that you'd like to hear about, isn't it? The commitment, the drive, the hard work. That wasn't too clever. I think he's got a slight kick on the blue there, which has thrown a different angle, and that's why he's caught the pink on the way back. He's getting 1 or 2 kicks out there. They're sounding a little bit heavy.
Well, it's been noticeable that referee Xu Ying has been really working on the cue ball when One of the players has requested that it be cleaned. Perhaps a little bit of humidity out there, which is causing a few more kicks as Robertson overcooks that safety by some margin.
Yeah, just caught the red far too thin. Well, he'll be annoyed because he knows if he's got good position on the red, he could still be at the table and possibly on the way to victory. But a chance here then for Wang, with that white coming back down the table. Oh, he's left it on. That might be the beginning of the end for the young man in this match.
Barry Hawkins is on the cusp of a whitewash of David Grace. So the World Championship runner-up looking good for a place in the last 16, where he could face either Mark Allen or Ryan Day.
Well, he was hoping to be on the red nearest the black, but I don't think he's come far enough. There is another red there he can pot and get back for the blue, but he'd like to move that one away from the black spot if he can. But there's certainly plenty of reds here to go at, and this is a great chance for Neil to clinch victory at this visit. And really would expect him to do so. He's got the blue and pink available.
13. 14. 20.
Confirmation, by the way, that Barry Hawkins has won 5-0, so Hawkins is through. Ryan Day or Mark Allen, his next opponent. That'll be a good match as well, because Ryan Day looked in fine form in his wildcard round victory over Lu Ning yesterday, scored well. Mark Allen, as we know, is the reigning World Open champion. His two ranking event
27.
successes both coming in China.
28.
Well, now he's got rid of that red, this is a great chance to win the match. Just play a little cannon into those, one of those four reds, just to keep the cue ball at this end. I think that was a mobile phone going off there.
Sounded more like a symphony. Well, I don't think he played it quite like that, but it's worked out pretty well.
42.
When this guy's really on form, Phil, top of his game, is a tough nut to crack, isn't he?
Well, there's no weakness in the game, really, is there? He's a great long potter, as we've mentioned already, terrific break builder, and he's got great steel now as well. He's mentally very tough.
I think the thing is as well, no disrespect to Wang, but I mean, if he gets victory here, I mean, Neil won't take a lot out of this, of course. You know, this will be a good workout for him, just get used to the conditions, but, you know, he'll be thinking of things ahead.
Some big tournaments coming up, of course. We're getting to a very busy part of the season with the likes of the International Championship and the UK Championship, and of course the Masters in the new year. Before that we had the Champion of Champions, a brand new event for the ranking event winners, and the rest of the game's elite. Well, Robertson misses what would have been match ball. Surprising. Don't often see that from the Melbourne left-hander these days, and he's looking suitably nonplussed. 56 the difference, but still 59 there. Wobbled it in. Wanted to be the other side of the blue, ideally.
But he's got to tap the blue here to be able to win by 1 point. But he's got to drive the cue ball around the table to get close to these reds. Oh dear.
Well, you can't really say that's bad luck. It's just a poor shot from young Wang. And now, trailing by 60 points with only 51 left, Robertson looks certain to wrap up victory here.
Good experience for the young man, though. He'll be back.
There you go then. 3 snookers required for Wang. Well, I think Robertson fully expected to pot that red. So Wang with half a chance to at least get a bit of a foothold.
3 snookers needed, though. And he's got the black into play. Will it pass the green?
Has to pot this one. If he doesn't, I'm sure he'll offer his hand. Has he fluked it? He has. I think he was about to offer his hand, but the black running along the balk rail and into the yellow pocket means that he'll battle on for a few shots more at least.
He was halfway on his way towards Neil Robertson there, wasn't he? Until he saw the black drop. Oh, hang on.
Well, it was a thin cut, but it wasn't that thin, and this time he does offer his hand. So, no joy today for Wang Yuchen. It was always going to be the tallest of orders against the reigning world #1 and former world champion Neil Robertson, and so it has proved. Robertson, the Melbourne left-hander, is safely through to the round of 16, where he could face either Graham Dott, Mark King, or Yu Xing Wei.